Getting started soon. Toss any links to stories into the Discord.
Oh, hi. Hello. How you doing? My name is Waldo, and I'm here to feel the politics with you. How's everybody doing today? Wow. Is my mic blowing out? Might have to turn my own volume down. That's never happened before. Hi. How's it going? Anyway, my name is Waldo, and I'm here to feel the politics with you. It is a Wednesday, which means there's not that much going on, but that's okay. We've got a few things to watch out. How you doing? And there's the echo. I'm here to feel the politics with you. How's everybody doing today?
Where is
is my mic blowing out
from?
Might have to turn my own volume down. That's never happened before.
I wonder. There it is.
I found it. It's a tough job. Yeah, Alexander Jackson, thanks for coming. A little loud, but it's okay. Yeah, thanks for coming. Thanks for suffering through it. My boy was using the VR today, which means that my entire setup has to be redone. It's awful. I hate it. I wish he would quit using that damn thing. I shouldn't have bought it. It was a mistake. Anywho, all right, we got that sorted. We got that going. Yeah, every time he uses that VR, like I have issues with all of this stuff. Yeah, the Stream Jedi that you see running around in the background. He turned that thing on and really liked it. Oh no, doxed me. Oh no. What? Anywho, let's see. Yeah, that's the thing about YouTube chat. So what are we going to do today? Today is Wednesday, so I've got a handful of stories to talk about. I've got a couple of things to put together, and we'll look at the news. We'll watch. Will Thomas be joining us? Not tonight. I don't think so. Let me check in the Discord if he's in there. He's not in the Discord. Thomas apparently has a real life. I don't know where he got it or who gave it to him, but I don't have one. So I will be here more often than he will. He pops in and out like the wind. Usually he's here. He's more likely to be here on Saturdays than Mondays and Wednesdays, but that's just not enough streaming time because you gotta hit the news pretty often. So. He's got this real life. Yeah, I don't know where he gets it or where it came from or what to do with it or where I could get one. But I have enough going on right here. I don't need a real life, whatever the hell that means. So yeah, he pops in and out completely, somewhat at random, and sometimes he's here, sometimes he's not. But if you like him and you want more of him, you can always hit him up on the Discord. He does talk on he does frequent the Discord, and he is in there all the time. You can send him a message any old time on that Discord and tell him what you're thinking, tell him what you're feeling, and tell him he's wrong or tell him he's right. That's fine too. Go in there and tell him how great and smart he is. He would love that. So let's see what else we got going on. So let's get going with good old Joe Brandon. He addressed the nation today. He is not dead. He has not died. He has not been replaced by a skin job. He has not been replaced by a pod person. He has not shuffled off this mortal coil like old Alex Jones says he did. I have it from very high authorities, folks, that Joe Biden's dead. No, wasn't true when he said it last week, because he did say that last week. He's like, yeah, I got the message that he's dead. Sad day gonna stream again tonight. Sorry, KBP, that's okay. Thanks for coming in anyway. I always like it. Is Twitch the place to be? Twitch is a good place. You can have, if you're on Twitch, I'm going to say, Alexander Jackson, you can put exclamation TTS and cool stuff.
Cool stuff.
And the lady will read it. She can't do that on YouTube. Also, YouTube chat is very slow. Whatever you're typing into the YouTube chat shows up way later than the other two chats. I don't know why this is. It's probably just more careful, which opens myself up to horrible ideas. The delay is my reason for being here. Yeah, exactly. Ponathan knows what's up. He knows that the delay exists on the YouTube, but not as much so on the Twitch or the Kick if you got booted out of that. But I hate the TTS spam. Well, then don't spam it. Use it only for very important things. Very important. Very hilarious shapes and jokes and killer one-liners. If you get one, exclamation TTS. I appreciate it. Thanks. Come on over. Either way, it doesn't matter to me. Let's watch Joe Brandon say some words. How about that? Let's do that. I'm going to swap over to this here webcam screen. But Waldo got me this close by buying a set with all of these ads that you'd never seen on the YouTube video. Yeah, I know. Let's see. Window cap 2. Go over there. We'll go here. Oops. Nope. That's me. Derp. How about that? That's better. There we go. All right. Let's hear what he has to say.
My fellow Americans, I'm speaking to you tonight from behind the resolute desk in the Oval Office. In this sacred space, I'm surrounded by portraits of extraordinary American presidents. Thomas Jefferson wrote the immortal words that guide this nation. George Washington showed us presidents are not kings.
He does look tan. He's been hitting that toner. He's becoming more Trumpian every day.
Abraham Lincoln, who implored us to reject malice. Franklin Roosevelt, who inspired us to reject fear. I revere this office, but I love my country more.
Oh, okay. We're going to put him at 1.5 speed. Now, listen, you just heard him speak, and he sounds old. Put him at 1.5? Really? Honestly? And he sounds pretty smart.
It's been the honor of my life to serve as your president. But in the defense of democracy, which is at stake, I think it's more important than any title.
Listen.
I draw strength and I find joy in working for the American people. But this sacred task of perfecting our union, it's not about me. It's about you.
He sounds so good. You just got to bump him up to 1.5 speed, and he sounds brilliant. He sounds so much better.
Your families, your futures. It's about we, the people. We can never forget that. And I never have. I've made it clear that I believe America is at an inflection point. One of those rare moments in history when the decisions we make now will determine our fate of our nation and the world for decades to come. America's going to have to choose between moving forward or backward, between hope and hate, between unity and division. We have to decide, do we still believe in honesty, decency, respect, freedom, justice, and democracy? In this moment, we can see those we disagree with not as enemies, but as fellow Americans. Can we do that? Does character in public life still matter? I believe I know the answer to these questions because I know you, the American people. And I know this, we are a great nation because we are good people. When you elected me to this office, I promised to always level with you, to tell you the truth. And the truth, the sacred cause of this country is larger than any one of us. And those of us who cherish that cause, cherish it so much, a cause of American democracy itself, must unite to protect it. You know, in recent weeks, it's become clear to me that I need to unite my party in this critical endeavor. I believe my record as president, my leadership in the world, my vision for America's future, all merited a second term. But nothing can come in the way of saving our democracy. That includes personal ambition. So I've decided the best way...
Personal ambition. Excellent point. Donald Trump would never say something like that.
...forward is to pass the torch to a new generation. It's the best way to unite our nation. You know, there is a time and a place for long years of experience in public life. There's also a time and a place for new voices, fresh voices, yes, younger voices. And that time and place is now. Over the next 6 months, I'll be focused on doing my job as president. That means I'll continue to lower costs for hardworking families, grow our...
He can still do these things. He doesn't have to be kicked out the way the hard right has suggested. Oh, if he can't run, then he can't be the president. Yeah, he can. He's just going to not run for president. He's just not going to go to all the battleground states running around and shaking the babies and kissing the hands. He's not going to do that. He's going to keep doing president stuff. This is actually a much better plan. You know, the president is busy, right? He's got shit to do. You can complain about him all day long, but he's got things to do. He's got a full packed schedule. And packing that already full schedule into and making it work with a campaign is difficult. Kamala Harris doesn't have that much to do. She has a lot less to do as the VP. So she has more time to be in those swing states. This is good for them. It really is. New generation stuff. Seriously, he wasn't saying anything like this before Sunday. I think that he was denying it. He was in denial. He's had a loss, so he has to go through the stages of denial, stages of grief, right? He had to go through the denial, saying, no, I'm never going to leave. I'm never going to leave. I'm never going to leave. I'm not going to do it. Then what comes after denial? Anger, right? And then he was angry at the people who said that he should leave. Then bargaining. I can do it. Trust me. I'll do this and I'll do that. And I'll go to this Michigan and I'll show you that I'm good. And then, and then after bargaining comes depression, which is why he caught COVID. He didn't actually catch COVID. That's a conspiracy theory, folks. He didn't actually catch COVID, but he was just sad. He just had the feels. He was just sad and miserable. Now he's at acceptance. He's gone through the stages. I think those are the stages. I could be wrong on them. I might be skipping over one. I'm not entirely sure. Those 5 stages come from humans, man. That happens to all humans, unless you want him to be one of the lizard people, which I don't. The lizard people from Rygar 7 don't actually go through those same stages. So that's only for humans. He's a human. Human confirmed. I think this is bad news for Alex Jones. He told us he was a lizard person. Sure. But this is good news for the people. Lizards only. Okay, Popog's on the lizard train. That's fine. Popog, if you want to be on the lizard train, I accept that. I don't agree with you, but you're allowed to have that opinion. Only vote for lizards. I think so. Let's keep listening.
Economy. I'll keep defending our personal freedoms and our civil rights, from the right to vote to the right to choose. I'll keep calling out hate and extremism. Make it clear there is no place in America for political violence or any violence ever, period. I'm going to keep speaking out to protect our kids from gun violence. Our planet from climate crisis is the existential threat. And I will keep fighting for my cancer moonshot so we can end cancer as we know it, because we can do it.
He's still trying to
I'm going to
cure
call
cancer.
for Supreme Court reform, because this is critical to our democracy. Supreme Court reform. I will keep working to ensure America remains strong, secure, and the leader of the free world. I'm the first president in this century to report to the American people that the United States is not at war anywhere in the world. We'll keep rallying a coalition of proud nations to stop Putin from taking over Ukraine and doing more damage. We'll keep NATO stronger, and I'll make it more powerful and more united than any time in all of our history. I'll keep doing the same for our allies in the Pacific. When I came to office, the conventional wisdom was that China would inevitably surpass the United States. That's not the case anymore. And I'm going to keep working to end the war in Gaza, bring home all the hostages, and bring peace and security to the Middle East and end this war. We're also working around the clock to bring home Americans being unjustly detained all around the world. We've come so far since my inauguration.
Okay, you ready?
I told you as I stood in that.
We're going to pop him back down to normal speed.
Of peril and winter of possibilities.
Oh, God.
Peril and possibilities. We were in the grip of the worst pandemic in the century. The worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. The worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War.
It's so bad.
We came together as Americans.
That's normal speed.
We got through it. We emerged stronger, more prosperous, and more secure. Today we have the strongest economy in the world, creating nearly 16 million new jobs a record.
1.5. See, he sounds nice.
Inflation continues to come down. The racial wealth gap is the lowest it's been in 20 years. We're literally rebuilding our entire nation, urban, suburban, rural, tribal communities. Manufacturing has come back to America. We're leading the world again in chips and science and innovation. We finally beat Big Pharma after all these years to lower the cost of prescription drugs for seniors. And I'm going to keep fighting to make sure we lower the cost for everyone, not just seniors. More people have health care today in America than ever before. And I signed one of those significant laws helping millions of veterans and their families who are exposed to toxic materials. Most significant climate law ever in the history of the world. The first major gun safety law in 30 years. Today, the violent crime rate is at a 50-year low. We're also securing our border. Border crossings are lower today than when the previous administration left office. I've kept my commitment to appoint the first black woman to the Supreme Court of the United States of America. I also kept my commitment
Id Paul. Come on.
to have an administration that looks like America and be a president for all Americans. That's what I've done. I ran for president 4 years ago because I believed and still do that the soul of America was at stake. The very nature of who we are was at stake. And that's still the case. America's an idea. An idea stronger than any army, bigger than any ocean, more powerful than any dictator or tyrant. It's the most powerful idea in the history of the world. That idea is that we hold these truths to be self-evident. We're all created equal, endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights: life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. We've never fully lived up to it, to this sacred idea, but we've never walked away from it either. And I do not believe the American people will walk away from it now. In just a few months, the American people will choose the course of America's future. I made my choice. I made my views known. I would like to thank our great Vice President Kamala Harris. She's experienced, she's tough, she's capable. She's been an incredible partner to me and a leader for our country. Now the choice is up to you, the American people. When you make that choice, remember the words of Benjamin Franklin hanging on my wall here in the Oval Office, alongside the bust of Dr. King and Rosa Parks and Cesar Chavez. When Ben Franklin was asked,
name dropping
from
all his friends
the convention going
from
on,
elementary school,
whether the founders have given America a monarchy or republic, Franklin's response was, a republic, if you can keep it. A republic, if you can keep it. Whether we keep our republic is now in your hands. My fellow Americans, it's been the privilege of my life to serve this nation for over 50 years. Nowhere else on earth could a kid with a stutter, from modest beginnings in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and Claymont, Delaware, one day sit behind the resolute desk in the Oval Office as President of the United States. But here I am. That's what's so special about America. We're a nation of promise and possibilities, of dreamers and doers, of ordinary Americans doing extraordinary things. I've given my heart and my soul to our nation, like so many others. I've been blessed a million times in return with the love and support of the American people. I hope you have some idea how grateful I am to all of you. The great thing about America is here, kings and dictators do not rule, the people do. History is in your hands. The power is in your hands. The idea of America lies in your hands. You just have to keep faith, keep the faith. And remember who we are. We're the United States of America. And there's simply nothing beyond our capacity when we do it together. So let's act together, preserve our democracy. God bless you all. May God protect our troops.
All right. So, yes, good point. He is too orange these days. He got bitten by Trump, and now he's like becoming one of them. It's like a vampire kind of thing. You start to turn orange. You start to get grumpy. That kind of thing. You cling to power even though you shouldn't. It's a whole thing. He's a Trumpire. That's true. He got bitten. So yeah, what was it? Yeah, the gang signs, very fun. So yeah, what does Waldo think about Gaza? Well, I think the people, the Hamas, are wrong to attack people, and Israel is wrong to create an open air prison, forcing them to stay in and become second-class citizens. They're both wrong for different reasons. They're both wrong from different directions. There is no good and bad on that situation. There are two bad teams beating the shit out of each other for stupid reasons. It was a very old it's a very old saying, but somebody described to me it was an old explanation from the 90s. What's going on in this whole Israel-Palestine thing? Well, there's a bunch of brown-skinned dudes with curly hair throwing rocks at brown-skinned dudes in curly hair with tanks. There you go. They're exactly the same to me, honestly. I swear. There's no difference. But all religions are stupid to me. They're both fighting over imaginary men in the sky, and it's dumb. Could the U.S. stop funding either Israel or Hamas? Yeah, they could. Israel could. Biden and Harris stop that, please? Yes, I would love for them to stop funding Israel. I would like that. I would like them to stop giving them weapons. Stop giving them weapons. Stop doing that. And you either have to create a two-state solution or you have to make the Palestinians into some sort of citizen. And I don't think we can get to that point at this point. As it stands now, you can't get there. They will not accept it. The Israelis won't accept that. Aren't we sure that Israel and Hamas are fighting over blood, just using sky as an excuse? Entirely possible. Zayla, you could be right. They could be entirely super-duper triple racist. Known to happen. Humanity has been racist for quite a long time. But using their imaginary faith as a excuse, sure. But how do you weigh that? How do you know whether you're a racist or doing it for your religion? And is there a difference? Harris didn't go to the event. That's hopeful. Yeah, she did not go to Benjamin Netanyahu's speech today, which I didn't watch out of solidarity. I just think it's boring. I know what he's going to say. It doesn't matter. Cheap viewers on blank. Oh, good. I'm sorry. Your link didn't work. Oh, it must suck for you. So, yeah, it's a mess, and I don't want any more innocent people dying. Stop giving Israel money and bombs to drop on people. Force them. Here's what I would say. Remember that stupid floating little barge, that floating bridge that they had the U.S. was going to use to bring aid in? Don't do that. That's a wimp move. That's a wiener move. That is a limp, unimportant wiener move. What you got to do is load up a bunch of supplies that you want to go to Gaza, put them on American military vehicles, put an American flag on it, put an American troop in the driver's seat, and drive right into Gaza. What are the Israelis going to do? Shoot you? God, no. What are they going to do? Stop you? Absolutely not. Nonsense. Drive right through their line. Just slowly, peacefully, calmly drive through their line. What are they going to do? Nothing. That's what they're going to do. The barge was the same as military. It was just a trial technology. Yeah, it was a bad idea. And now it's fallen apart and floated away, and it cost us $78 billion or something stupid like that. Harris and Trump will give money to Israel. Harris will give some. I think Trump would give more. I really do think he would. And you know who else thinks Trump would give more? I'm glad we're on this topic. Thanks for bringing it up, Zayla. We've got a story about that. Ben-Gvir, a actual horrible person, endorses Trump and says he's more likely to back war on Iran. The Israeli security minister, who leads the far-right Jewish Power Party, accused the Biden administration of thwarting Israel's victory over Hamas. So Biden isn't doing enough for Ben-Gvir, and he thinks Trump will do more. That's what this guy says. He's a hard right person who hates Muslims and wants to go to war with Iran and kill all the Palestinians. And he votes for Trump. I'm just saying. Let's see. This is his quote. I believe that with Trump, Israel will receive the backing to act against Iran. Against Iran, not Hamas, Iran. With Trump, it will be clearer that enemies must be defeated. A cabinet minister is supposed to maintain neutrality, but that's impossible to do after Joe Biden. The U.S. has always stood behind Israel in terms of armaments and weapons, yet this time the sense was that we were being reckoned with, that we were trying to be prevented from winning. That happened on Biden's watch and fed Hamas with lots of energy, says Ben-Gvir. Who was convicted in 2007 of incitements to racism after he advocated for the ethnic cleansing of Palestinians. So this is the guy that's on Trump's side in this situation. Not good. Don't be friends with Ben-Gvir. Just if Ben-Gvir is supporting you, you need to reassess yourself. You need to figure out what might be going on. Criminals have to stick together. Ben-Gvir, convicted of supporting terrorism, endorses convicted felon Trump for U.S. president. See, there you go. While Biden, U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken and other administration officials have decried Israel's indiscriminate bombing of Gaza and high civilian casualties, at least 140,000 Palestinians killed or missing, according to the local and international agencies. The U.S. has approved billions of dollars for new military aid and more than 100 arms sales since October. Yeah, lots of stuff is still going towards them. I would like it to be much, much less. It's good to know we can work. We won't basically scrap the plan its real purpose, which was emergency ports in the U.S. World War. Okay, if Trump goes to war with Iran, all his supporters will rage on him. No, they'll be on board for it. Man, if Trump gets elected, he'll say that those 140,000 Palestinians were Hamas. Every Palestinian is Hamas under Trump. That's what I'm telling you. Every Palestinian, baby, mother, grandma, are Hamas under Donald Trump. That's what I'm thinking. Never heard of this guy? Oh, he's I can't buttons. He's a bad guy. Endorsing Trump is racist. Someone endorsing Trump is racist. Yeah, I know. Shinzo, shocked Pikachu. Why is this Ben guy relevant? Because he's in the Israeli government. He's second or third behind Benjamin Netanyahu. He's telling Benjamin Netanyahu what to do. Not telling him what to do, but he's a very large, important part of Benjamin Netanyahu's government. He's running some of this government that's doing the thing that you see when you see all those atrocities. He's responsible for it. Yeah, Kissinger kind of figured. Maybe. Yeah. Cut down the war in Ukraine and possibly keep the war in Gaza the same. He probably would cut down the war in Ukraine. That wouldn't surprise me. And then increase the amount of money that's going to Israel, I think. Yeah, and then I think Donald Trump wants war with Iran. I think he does. And I think the Republicans want it as well. They talk about it a lot. He's not a government anymore. He quit. Oh, did he quit, Pope Hog? He may have quit. He was telling people what to do. He was a member of the government. He may not be any longer. I could be behind the times on that. I haven't looked at the Israel stuff in a couple of months. Doesn't Benjamin have to do Gaza because Navir? Ben Gvir is not telling him what to do specifically. We have been to the border. You haven't been to the border. Yeah, and I haven't been to Europe either. Okay? Cares. The border, generally, Dolly effing Parton, is an over-exaggeration. The right uses that as a wedge issue, and it is not nearly as dangerous as they say it is. It is dangerous, but it's not nearly as bad as they say it is. The people coming across can be dealt with properly and with proper authority within the United States government. They are not an invasion. Anybody who says, unironically, uses the word invasion is lying to you. It's very messy right now. Okay. There are two figures that help Netanyahu hold power. Navir and Knapp covers this a lot more. Okay, yeah. It's not my specialty. I just look at the headlines and see a couple of things. I am no expert. The ads, oh God, I can't buttons. The ads are awful. I agree, man. You know what makes the ads go away? You know what makes the ads go away? Becoming a subscriber on Twitch. Yeah. I forgot which one it was. Subscribers on Twitch don't have to watch the ads. That's it. That's how this whole system works. Or download the ad block. Yeah, that's entirely possible too. I approve of downloading the ad block. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you should do that. Piracy, 100%. I mean, I've been pirating my entire life, and I would not argue if you pirated from me. That would not bother me one bit. It only makes me cooler, in fact. So what else have we got? Okay, so that was the Israel thing. We're going to close that off. And we'll bring it back to good old Kamala. Dems in array. That's a good headline. Dems in array. Handoff to Biden to Harris appears seamless. She locked it up too. The actual delegates from like 27 states or something like that have all pledged their delegates to her. She's won. The convention isn't until like August 5th or something like that. And then they do the final vote on the 7th, if I remember correctly, if I get my dates right. She has all the votes. She's got it. Dems in array. Handoff from Biden to Harris appears seamless. Despite fear of inter-party chaos and disarray, the Democratic Party election shift from Joe Biden to Kamala Harris has been impressive. So, yeah, she has all of the stuff. She's got all the points. She locked it up in Lake California criminal who should have been released years ago due to extra exculpatory evidence withheld by the prosecutor. Bam, Popog. Legal slam. The rare and painful legal slam. There was an important flaw, however, in the argument. Democrats were already... Okay. Let me start this one over again. Ahead of Joe Biden's withdrawal from the 2024 race, many of the Democratic incumbent supporters said that he had to keep going with his reelection bid because the alternative would be inter-party chaos, division, and disarray. There was one important flaw, however, in the argument. Democrats were already dealing with the inter-party chaos, division, and disarray. Exactly. I was causing that disarray. You're welcome. I was causing that chaos. I was causing that division. I was saying, ever since he did that speech, that one bad debate, that he ought to drop out and we should get somebody else. A year ago, I suggested we actually have a primary so that he can speak in front of us, and then we'd find out if he still got it. I was worried a year ago that he didn't got it. He probably would have had it a year ago. As stupid as it sounds, I'm slightly glad they didn't run a primary. Because imagine him being 10% more with it a year ago. Not an impossible thing to think about when you look at degenerative diseases and how age works, stuff like that. He would have been a year younger. He could have done a slightly better job. There would have been an actual real primary with lots of footage to read from and look at, and all the reporters could point at. I don't think he would have been removed. I think because they skipped the primary, because he was the incumbent, which is normal, which is not a coup, it's not unusual. I think that's fine that they skipped the thing that week, that they skipped the primary this time. And because they skipped it, we get harsh reality. You get a surprise, grumbly, stumbly old man who can't finish the sentence. You get this, it's a surprise. President Trump has argued that the decision not to attack Iran was an expression of long overdue restraint by a nation that was wasted too many lives and dollars overseas. It's a good point, Zayla. By dicking around in Afghanistan and Iraq, we couldn't do actual things that need doing. I don't think we need to go to war with Iran, but the American people are less likely to support it after seeing what happened in Afghanistan and Iraq. They just aren't going to agree with it. They're going to hate it. Trump's track record of not attacking Iran more than Harris. He assassinated Soleimani, who was a hero to them. He assassinated somebody that was on their team. He did. Republicans still held primaries. Well, sure, they held primaries because they had to. They still held the primaries. Donald Trump didn't show up for any of them because he assumed that he would win all the votes, and he won most of the votes. But they held the primaries. Yeah, they were not incumbent. If Donald Trump had won, I mean, he did. Well, hang on. Did they run any primaries in 2020? Yeah, they didn't run primaries in 2020, if I remember correctly, because it was all Trump. The Iran assassination assassinated their own leader, so Trump was just participating in Iranian culture. Okay. In 2020, they had like 17 Republicans. I don't remember seeing them. I don't remember them being pushed or anything like that. But I'm all right with a party saying we have the incumbency. Our guy has been president for 4 years. We want him for 4 more years. Cancel the primaries. I'm fine with that. I don't mind that, honestly. I don't think that's a nightmare, horrible dystopia. You know what is a nightmare, horrible dystopia? Elon Musk. So Elon Musk, I'm switching gears here very hard because I'm talking about dystopias. Elon Musk is spending millions of dollars to elect Trump. Let's boycott his companies. Robert Reich is a goober. I agree. And I don't think that boycotts do anything at all, ever. So I don't think that we should boycott his companies. But he does have a good quote down here that he didn't write. Robert Reich, that's what I like about you, Rob, is you bring me the quotes from smarter people than you. And here it is. Where is it? Doot. Oh, God. Did I lose it? I had it. No, I've lost it. Oh, God. Reading. Oh, God, reading is so hard. Left to right, top to bottom. There was a good quote in here. I know it's in there. Thinking Waldo's in chat. Okay, where are we? Where'd you go? There it is. Okay. Sorry for that. I lost the track of it. Should have said the quote. I know. I should have written it down or something like that. Toward the end of America's first Gilded Age, Louis Brandeis, the eminent American jurist, said, "We must make our choice. We may have a democracy, or we may have wealth concentrated in the hands of the few, but we can't have both." And I think that's an excellent quote. That's an excellent quote. That makes all the sense. You can't have democracy if one guy owns the largest, most powerful communication tool ever to exist. He owns the most powerful news device ever to exist in human history. And he has a side. Man, that's some dystopian shit right there. Zayla, I don't know if we can. I still don't think we can. That's okay. You are pronouncing the name of Louis Brandeis wrong. It sounds French, so I can do whatever I want with it. I have no respect for the French, and everybody knows this. This gets me canceled all the time. But good news, bad news, maybe? Elon isn't giving money to Donald Trump, apparently. There, let's watch this.
Mr. Musk, are you still going to donate to Trump? Do you still donate $45 million? I'm sorry?
At no point did I say that I was donating $45 million a month to Trump. That was a fiction made up by the Wall Street Journal.
That was a fiction made up by the Wall Street Journal. I thought he posted it himself. Maybe I was wrong. Because he doesn't have it. No, I think he has it. Well, he might have it, but maybe he doesn't. I thought he posted that himself. Was it a fiction made up by the Wall Street Journal? Nobody knows. Donald Trump bragged about it, but he got it from possibly the Wall Street Journal. So Trump says it into a camera. Elon Musk is donating $45 million a month to my campaign because he knows how smart I am and how great I am. But he got that from the Wall Street Journal. The Wall Street Journal got it from somewhere. Probably Trump's campaign. That's what I think. I think the Wall Street Journal got it from Trump's campaign. Elon never said it. He never pushed it. He never suggested that he was even going to do such a thing. So we've got actual evidence. So that I started looking on to, is this a real thing? Elon Musk said, Elon Musk says $45 million a month campaign donation to Donald Trump is simply not true. And we've got Did Elon Musk donate to America PAC? Earlier this year, CEO of SpaceX said he wouldn't contribute to President Trump or Joe Biden's campaign. Just to be super clear, I'm not donating to money. Oh, I have to do the Elon Musk. Just to be super clear, I'm not donating money to either candidate for U.S. president. He wrote on X, formerly Twitter, because that's its full name now. And in July 22, no, let's see if he actually did. Who has donated to the Trump PAC to America PAC? Donors to the American PAC include Capital 8 Joe Lonsdale, some blah, blah, blah. But he hasn't donated to it. That's why I read it somewhere else that he hadn't done so. Yeah, he hadn't done it. So the answer is no, he didn't and hasn't. So maybe that's good news. I mean, I'm glad that he didn't. I don't want him to give money to one side or the other while owning the most powerful news device ever to exist. This isn't a good thing, especially when he controls what he can ban reporters that he doesn't like. He can just ban them from that fucking site, and then they can't post their shit, and then I can't see it, and we don't know what's going on. He can. If anybody in the world has the power to control speech, it's fucking Elon Musk right now. This is good news that he's not giving a bunch of money to Donald Trump, honestly. It looks like Wall Street Journal started their rumor. They cited sources familiar with the details. I can't say any of this tweets on Internet Archive saying that. This isn't a good thing. Is that an emotion? Yeah, all politics are based on feelings, Selah. Politics are feelings. Yeah, exactly. All politics are based on feelings. All of them. Good is a feeling. I think it's bad that Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, owns the most powerful communication device to ever exist and hates certain people. He hates trans people. We can cover that one in a minute, but he really does hate them. He does not, and if he pushed out he pushed out a whole lot of anti-Kamala stuff like that. And it maybe there was a conspiracy, folks, that you couldn't follow Kamala on Twitter. Kamala's headquarters, Twitter headquarters, or something like that. People were pressing the subscribe button or the follow button, and they weren't allowed to. Is that just a bug? Is that just Elon saying, "Hey, I don't like this person," so they don't get follows? Very well could be. Also, it's his thing, and he uses it. You know, he tweets all the time about political shit. And he can just artificially add his tweets to other people's timelines. He can game this system in any way he wants. That doesn't make me feel good. That makes me nervous. Nervousness is a feeling. The satisfaction at getting a math problem correct is also a feeling. Sure. Yes, and the feeling is racism. That's good segue, Popog. Because guess who else has racist feelings? It's coming. You guys are segueing like a motherfuckers tonight. I tell you what. What do we got? We've got this one right here. Republican leaders urge colleagues to steer clear of racist and sexist attacks on Harris. I appreciate that, Zayla. Thank you. I'm trying to get good at this. I still goof it up pretty often. But Republican leaders are warning party members against using overtly racist and sexist attacks against Vice President Kamala Harris as they and former President Donald Trump campaign scramble to adjust to the reality of a new Democratic rival less than 4 months before Election Day. At a closed-door meeting of House Republicans on Tuesday, National Republican Congressional Committee Chairman Richard Hudson urged lawmakers to stick to criticizing Harris for her role in Biden-Harris administration policies. This election will be about policies and not personalities, said Mike Johnson. That's not Mike Johnson's voice. I'm sorry. This is not personal with regard to Kamala Harris, and her ethnicity or her gender have nothing to do with this whatsoever. So Speaker of the House, Pastor Mike Johnson, is telling his followers and his friends and all the people below him, stop talking about her race and her gender. It will chase off the normies, which is exactly what it's going to do, which is exactly why I think she's going to win, honestly. I think it's already too late. Shinsendo's already seen some of those posts. They can't help themselves. It's true. I've seen a bunch of sexually lewd kind of things suggesting that she slept her way to the top. This doesn't even make any sense. They're doing sexism wrong, and they could do coconut jokes, man. Like do you think you just fell out of a coconut tree? They could show her wearing a coconut bikini, man. That would be good sexism, but they're not doing it right. They're just saying she slept her way to the top, which isn't even close to being true. There's no evidence for it. They're just mean. They're not even doing sexism right. So, there was a sign where there was a dude, and then there was a lady on her knees, and it made an H for Harris. It's not even close to being correct. They're not even doing sexism right. You think she's winning? I think she's gonna win. Zayla, I think she's gonna win. Really do. I think Donald Trump chases off the normies. This is why is Pastor Mike Johnson telling his friends and the people on a phone call with him, stop being racist, stop being sexist. I'm not going to bet real money on a presidential election. That's illegal, Zayla. That is illegal, and I cannot believe that you would do such a thing. That is a illegal thing to do. Popog, arrest this man. I think that she is going to win. I think Mike Johnson has said these things so that his people will stop doing it, because it chases off the normies. It chases off the middle America. It chases off the regular people. The regular people see her being somewhat normal. Yeah, we can bet fake money like Bitcoin. I don't have any. It's a bad idea. We can discuss what happens later. Hit me up in the Discord. We'll come to terms. She did get her job while being mistress to Willie Brown. It was reported on at the time, but she was having an affair with him, and she also got a job. Maybe. But that was also, what year was that? 1980 something? Early 90s? I don't remember what year that was. But that was a very long time ago. I think, and that's the way you do the sexism, right? See, Popog's doing sexism properly. You see? He's doing it right. 1994. Okay, so like a million years ago. All right, that's not that long ago. It's only 30 years. But still, it's not a good thing. But you're doing the sexism right. If they were doing the sexism properly, they would be pointing at that. And nowhere in those silly images of her doing stupid things did the word Willie Brown come up. Honestly, they don't even know who Willie Brown is. The guy who makes the who's photoshopping her in weird positions doesn't know who Willie Brown is. He just doesn't like ladies. So yeah, there is something there, but it's from 1994. He even has a funny name. I know, right? Willie Brown. That's a funny name. You could talk you could make jokes all about that. He's 90 now, but 30 years ago he was 60. He was 60 30 years ago. But yeah, it was 60, and she was a young person back then. Which she could, oh God, can you, okay. If that really came to a head, this becomes a giant scandal, Popog. You know what she'll do? She'll throw him under the bus and say he was a 60-year-old and he was in charge of the place, and he propositioned her and Me Too'd, and she'd Me Too him and turn it into a she was 30. Yeah, she'll talk about how he was the boss and she had to do it because she didn't have a choice. How awful he is. What's he going to do? He's fucking 90. She would turn that into a thing if she were a really conniving politician. I don't think she is. I hadn't heard anything about Willie Brown for a very long time. So maybe this becomes an issue. Maybe it pops up. Maybe it doesn't. If I see it on the news, I'll bring it up and I'll put it into the headlines. But honestly, I haven't seen anything about it except for left-leaning people who are like, hey, this is the actual thing that happened. And yeah, you hear more about her laugh. You hear more about her coconut analogy, which is bad. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, we were talking about Mike Johnson. He's telling his people that so that they won't be racist and sexist and chase off the normies. Because I think that Donald Trump being racist, being sexist towards her on a large stage with lots of middle-of-the-road voters looking will chase them off. They won't show up for him. And I think that's why she's going to win, Zayla. I think she's going to win because he can't help himself. He's not going to be able to stop. And the Facebooks and the Twitters and stuff like that are going to be racist and sexist towards her, and the normies are going to feel that and be like, ick, we don't like this. Her laugh is annoying and fake sounding, entirely possible. It is difficult to smile on command. Being an actor is hard. Hate her personality, and politically, I still take her over Vance, vice presidency. Yeah, I think she's going to be better. Yeah, I don't like Vance. Hey, you know what other stories I have? Stories about J.D. Vance. That's right. Segueing like a motherfucker tonight. Amazon presale page reveals J.D. Vance called on conservatives to load the muskets in support of Project 2025. So this is them bringing the temperature down again. Remember, we can't use violent rhetoric. Democrats focused their message upon ultra-conservative Heritage Foundation Project 2025 program in recent weeks, with mentions of the 900-page uber-conservative policy document tripling since beginning of June because everybody's getting excited about it. It makes content. I made content about it a year ago. Maybe I'll do some more. I don't know. That push has some Republicans distancing themselves from the project, including their 2024 nominee, former President Donald Trump. But despite Trump's attempt to back away from his policy proposal, remember his backing away. That will be important later when I put on my tinfoil hat. Let's see. Vice President nominee J.D. Vance wrote the foreword to a book by the architect of the agenda, which is coming out in September. An Amazon presale page for Dawn's Early Light, Taking Back Washington to Save America, has been circulating online, tagging Vance as the man behind the foreword. Heritage Foundation President 2025, Kevin Roberts, outlines Second American Revolution. Yeah, we saw that a couple of weeks ago. But what did Vance write? Vance wrote, never before has a figure with Roberts' depth and stature within the American right tried to articulate a genuinely new future for conservatism. We are now all realizing that it's time to circle the wagons and load the muskets. In the fights that lay ahead, these ideas are an essential weapon. So circle the wagons, which means you're being attacked, load the muskets, and it's an essential weapon. Very violent rhetoric from J.D. Vance. I sure hope he hasn't recently told us to tone down the violent rhetoric, which is why I promised that I wouldn't. What is it? Okay. You only heard Dems talk about 2025. Zayla, because the Republicans don't want you to know that that's their plan. It's the playbook, and they don't want you to see it. Like 96% of the population would be against Project 2025. Loading muskets is violent rhetoric. What about brandishing sabers? Absolutely it is. And that's why I'm okay with it. I don't care about violent rhetoric. It's not something that I think we need to curtail and bring down. I'm not the one suggesting we bring it down. It's the Republicans who yell bad faith bad faithfully. What's the word for bad faithfully? I don't know. Republicans bad faithfully scream at Joe Biden when he uses the word bullseye, but J.D. Vance talks about loading the musket, circling the wagons, and using it as a weapon. Rattle your sabers all day. I don't care. Draw a badly faithful. Sure. Draw a crosshair over your opponent's face. I don't care. That's fine. Don't do violence. If you can't separate them, I get that there's an issue. If we didn't, it's a complicated thing. But just plug the United States for Citizens United. This book would have been illegal without Citizens United, and we never would have found out. The book would have been, which book? Project 2025? You wouldn't be able to write that shit down and publish it as your plans for the future. You can't make that your party platform sort of thing without Citizens United, or Citizens United is the reason we're allowed to see it. I mean, the Heritage Foundation published it. Whatever book J.D. Vance is forwarded in. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. It's, the book hasn't come out yet, but we're just seeing excerpts on Amazon. Why does 2025 have a website? If they want to hide it? I don't know. It's a dumb idea. Possibly. Because why do they don't want you to talk about it. They don't want you to know about it. They want it to happen, but they don't want the spotlight on it. It's very dumb for them to have put it out, because it gives me something to rally against. It really does. They did not have to release that thing. They could have printed only one copy of it, put it in front of the Republicans who all just stood around it and read it at an angle, and they were like, hey, I like that, I like that, I like that, I like that, and then burned it. And then saved the original copy or something like that. They could have, but they put it out. I don't know why. It is doublethink. You're right. I know. I think they did a bad job. I think they're just doing a bad job of keeping their shit secret. They didn't expect people to read 900 pages. Who reads 900 pages? Well, liberals do. The left will read 900 pages. The right won't. Have you ever seen a liberal meme? They're this long. They have way too many words. I get it. ChatGPT reads 900 pages. That's right. And only ChatGPT. People have not read 900 pages. Was it a good idea on their part? No. Do they regret letting it out? Yes. I would say that they regret letting it out a year ago for us all to read. They are unhappy with the choices that they made. That's how I would square this doublethink. Waldo says it's a bad idea, and they regret it. Do they want you to shut up about it? Sure. So specifically, you aren't speaking charitably. No, I'm never charitable. Dolphin Mixtull. I don't know what that is. So what were we looking at? We were looking at, so there's his violent rhetoric. Again, the right uses violent rhetoric all the time. They cry about it when a Dem does it, and they don't care. There's no, they're bad faith. The right will use violent rhetoric all the time. When the left does it, they yell at them for it because they have no ethics or principles, honestly. And even the sentence, look at that sentence. I hate that sentence. It is a backward facing ideology. I complain and make jokes about the right being a backward facing ideology all the time. And here he is circling the wagons, loading the muskets. He's backward. He's going backward. He's backward facing. I've said it before. Jump on your stagecoach. The Republicans will use their stagecoach to drive you into the future. That's an insult. It's not a particularly good one, but it is my explanation of their thought process. Take us backward. Tomorrow needs to be yesterday. For conservatives, they want to go backward, and here's J.D. Vance telling you to load your musket and rally the covered wagons. Backward facing ideology. My girlfriend's father gave me a Mark Levin's Democrats Hate America. Mark Levin, the great one. I annotated, wrote notes, and gave him the whole paper on my thoughts. I told him to read Communist Manifesto and challenged him his proclivities, and he never heard from him again. Yeah, the Communist Manifesto is hard to read. I've never even read it. But it is difficult. The left does tend to read more. Is it quantized? There's a link to something I can't see, or a slur. Slow down on the slurs, Zayla. You can choose how quantized you want to download it. Quantization is violence. And while I think he linked an image to my weapon, I hope you don't see it as violence. At least it wasn't a slur. All right, if you want to link images to things, you can do so in the Discord. Sorry. The links are turned off right here because I get so many robot scammers. He did slur some words there too. So what do we got? What else do we have to talk about tonight? We're going to close that. Making history in completely wrong way. J.D. Vance is really unpopular and dragging Trump down. So the lowest approval rating of any running mate since 1990. Senator J.D. Vance making history as the running mate, but not in the way the Trump campaign had hoped. According to CNN survey taken after the Republican National Convention, Vance has an approval rating of -6 points, making him the first vice presidential nominee to enter the general election with a negative rating since 1980. Frankly, I don't really understand the pick, and apparently neither do the American voters, said CNN data analyst Harry Enton. He is dragging Trump down. Trump may have picked Vance as his running mate to fire up his MAGA base in an anticipated campaign against Joe Biden, but a changed battlefield with Vice President Kamala Harris at the helm of the Democratic ticket may lead him to view him as more as a liability than an asset. J.D. Vance is not doing too hot. Communist Manifesto is hard to read. Yeah, it took him 30 years to write because he was too busy banging his maid, being anti-Semitic, which apparently way more fun than writing an incoherent economics book. It's true. That those things are way more fun than talking about made-up witchcraft like economics. I agree. Economics isn't real. You can just write whatever you want. It'll be fine. So J.D. Vance is... Maybe I'm thinking of capital. There you go. Okay. I'm thinking of capital. Sorry. Popok. I can't buttons. I'm thinking of Capital, the book, the other book that is really long. The Das Kapital is what? That's the one I was thinking of. I got my things mixed up. You're right. The Communist Manifesto is a very tiny pamphlet, and Das Kapital is the one I was thinking of. That was the giant thing that I'd never read because it's long and complicated, and you get memes out of it about how much a coat should cost and shit like that. So what was I thinking of? I was thinking of J.D. Vance. Yeah, he is a liability maybe. He's going down. I'm going to put my hat on. You guys ready for the tinfoil hat? All right, tinfoil hat time. Project 2025 gets released. We all read it. We all know about it. Everybody starts talking about it over the past couple of months. The liberal media is all over it. They are gorgeous, aren't they? I've been feeding them, and they're getting great. Pure beef blood. I feed these things. Sorry, vegans, you can't have sideburns like this. It takes beef blood. Anywho, Project 2025 comes out. We all read it. The liberal media goes nuts about it. They start putting out news stories about it. Then Donald Trump distances himself from it. Remember, he was sitting on the golf cart. They were like, hey, what do you think about this Project 2025? And Trump's like, never heard of it. Don't know what it is. Don't know who wrote it. Not a thing for me. I do what I want. I don't follow the Heritage Foundation and their suggestions. This made the Heritage Foundation mad. So you know what they did? They hired a right-wing lunatic to shoot at Donald Trump. That's what they did. They hired the Crooks kid to take a shot. And then, after the assassination attempt, the Heritage Foundation comes out and tells Donald Trump, hey, we did that. And you know how you're going to prevent us from doing it again? J.D. Vance. That's right. That's what happens. That's why I have the hat on. The globalists at the Heritage Foundation were behind it all. Yeah, they were. They didn't like that Donald Trump was distancing himself from them, so they took a shot at him, said, hire J.D. Vance, and we won't take another shot at you. And now J.D. Vance is there. He's going to push 2025. He's in that the foreword for that guy's book. He loves the plan. He's a good friend with Peter Thiel, the techno authoritarian. And this is their plan. This is the evil Heritage Foundation plan. That if Donald Trump doesn't do enough of Project 2025, they take another shot, put J.D. Vance in the White House as the president, and then they have it. Then they've won. Checkmate, atheists. The Heritage Foundation wins, and you all have to be Christians. Sorry, guys. Mandatory Christian. So Sundays, no work on Sundays, and you're forced to go to church. Mandatory attendance. You will be assigned a church that you will go to on Sundays. If you're not already married, I mean, all gay marriages get canceled. Boop, canceled, done. And then re-education camp for the gays, and the transes re-education camp to them, straight to jail. And then if you don't have a wife, they assign you one. Project 2025. J.D. Vance was the youngest president, and I wouldn't be disappointed. I should run on this platform with the one that I just described with the tinfoil hat. We already have Vermin Supreme, and he's not doing too well. You know, I would have to be at Vermin Supreme levels. All right, hats off. Oops. He stops at horses, though. You'd go farther. Okay. Found a yeah, I look like George Washington, don't I? Like, I don't want a ponytail, but let's look at George Washington. Literally, like all those fools looked like that back in the day. Look at him. See? Look at those things. Scroll. Let's zoom in. Can we zoom in? There we go. Yeah. Look at those things. Well, they don't come down as far as mine. He's probably stopped right around the jawline, you know, and then with the frilly hair in the back, you know. Or is this a powdered wig? That's not a powdered wig, is it? That's not a powdered wig, is it, you guys? Button chops. There you go. That's not a powdered wig, is it? I don't think it is. I don't think George Washington wore a powdered wig. No. That's got to be real, right? Shockingly, I don't know. I don't think they ever covered that in elementary school. He totally did wear a powdered wig. Oh, God. I hope not. All natural. See, that's what I thought. I thought that was it. What was Thomas Jefferson? Didn't he have the same kind of hair? Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. Yeah, look at this guy. Well, no, he doesn't have the chops. He's got the frills on the back, you know. He's got the stuff over there.
Turn the friggin' frogs gay.
Jonathan just subscribed for 4 months. Oh, my God. He doesn't have to watch commercials, you guys. He's in the lead, and he turned a frog gay. Hope you're proud of yourself. Jonathan, I'm proud of you. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. That makes a big difference to this little stream. He's a cool guy. If you want to be as cool as him, all you got to do is hit that button. So yeah, Thomas Jefferson. So he's got kind of the frills on the side too, but he doesn't have the chops. And he doesn't have the thing in the back. Who was the one with the ponytail that I was thinking of? I don't remember. Let's just look at founding fathers and then see what we got. Here's come here. Here's a bunch of them. Quincy Adams, maybe. Oh, who's that? Look at that guy. He's amazing. Oh, come on. I want to see this photo. Dang thing. Shut up. Yeah. No, that's Jefferson with no, that's not a ponytail. Maybe I always thought it was a ponytail. Maybe I saw this. Quincy Adams wasn't a FF, but he had a ponytail. Okay, Quincy. Let's look at Quincy Adams. Oh, now we're talking. Look at that. baller. Look at this fool. I like this guy. This guy's great. I'm on board. I'm here for it, man. I really am. This guy's got it going on. Zayla knows what's up. Yeah, good job, Zayla. Good call. Who's the other one that I was thinking? Asimov. That's who I'm going for, really. Isaac Asimov. Have you ever seen a picture of Isaac Asimov? Look at him. Right there. Bam. Get some. Look at that beautiful sumbitch. That's what I'm going for. The full Asimov. But honestly, what about Isaac Asimov? Yeah, that's his photo right there. Yeah. That's him. Gorgeous sideburn boy. What am I doing with them? I am going to go to Emerald City Comic Con as the main character from Disco Elysium. I don't know if you ever played that one, but Harry Dubois. That's why I'm growing them here. Harry Dubois. I'm sorry, Shinzen. No, I've stolen all the ladies. I think that I could pull this off. Like that. Or this is a nice photo of him. I don't think I have the chin for. Do I have the chin for it? I don't think I do. I don't have a chin dimple. Let's see. What I'll do is about 90 days, probably about 3 months before. I don't have the. Do I have the chin cleft? I don't have the dimple, but I kind of have the. Well, I don't have a hard chin. I don't have the line right there. Shared cheeseburger behind McDonald's. You can have it. It's there. How did I find my wife? That was in high school, man, in the year 1999. That's how. I see the joke here is that Asimov sounds like has them off in British accent. So I'm asking about when Isaac has them off. What am I thinking? Oh yeah. I'm going to about 90 days before the thing, I'll probably just stop shaving all of it. And then, so that I don't look like a lunatic, because this is a lunatic right here. I'm not going to do the mustache thing on a daily basis. That's too much. I don't think I can walk around town. I don't think my old lady will let me walk around town like this, with the mustache. So I'll probably just grow all of it for about 90 days, and then just shave the chin the day before Comic-Con. That's my plan anyway. Get about 90 days worth of growth, then shave just the chin for Comic-Con, and get a green suit jacket, and a plastic bag. I don't know if you've ever played Disco Elysium. It's great. It's fantastic. You should play it. It's all about politics. It's fantastic. I'm native in Spanish, and facial hair is a hit or miss in this community. Yeah, it is. I'm lucky enough to live in a place where everybody has a beard. Like, yeah, literally everybody. Me shaving on a regular basis is odd in the region of the world that I'm in. Everybody has a beard, and they all think I'm weird for shaving regularly. But then I grew these, and they were all like, "Okay, great, good job." I've got lots of compliments from dudes. Have I told you the story yet? I was in Vegas, and I was waiting for an Uber, and the guy, like 5 guys, get into an Uber in front of me, which is normal. You wait your turn for your Uber. As we were waiting for ours, the window rolls down, and this random dude's like, "Hey, those sideburns are fantastic." And I was like, "Thank you." And I look at my wife, and I'm like, "Look how cool I am." And she's like, "You only get compliments from dudes." And I was like, "Shit, that's right. I don't get compliments from girls. I just don't." Only dudes appreciate the sideburns. Women don't seem to care. Maybe I should rebrand them as like thigh ticklers or something. Anyway, we're getting off topic. The more you think about it, the worse it gets. Don't worry. Ew, gross. I know. Okay, what are we doing? What are we thinking? What are we talking about? I don't know what I'm doing or talking about anymore. I have absolutely gone off the rails. This will be what I try to look like when Comic-Con comes around, and I'm gonna get like an empty holster too. I don't know if you've ever played it. If you haven't, the missing gun is a big part of the game. I'm just gonna walk around with an empty holster. It'll be great. My endorsement of JD Vance. Yes, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about my endorsement of JD Vance. I'm super on board. He's great. The only candidate in years to have facial hair. And no. And what are we talking? Oh, hey, here we got Trump. And we've got, what is this? Oh, remember 5 minutes ago when I was suggesting that when Mike Johnson was suggesting they tone down the racist and sexist talk, Fox Business guest calls Kamala Harris the original Haktua girl. Now, that's the way she got where she is, and the party is going downhill if it's in her hands, Alec Lace said. Alec Lace, you're chasing off the normies. You're chasing off the middle. Zayla, this is why she'll win. Because the misogyny begins. You see, people like Alec Lace are going to go on Fox News and say shit like this. And it's going to chase off the normies. The middle of the road people aren't going to want to vote for Donald Trump because of this racism and this misogyny. Well, this wasn't racist, but Alec Lace made the comments on July 5th appearance after President Joe Biden's disastrous debate performance, but before Harris became the presumptive nominee. The podcaster was comparing Harris to a 22-year-old girl who garnered viral fame after describing spitting during a sex act. I love that the news has to describe it that way as she was interviewed on the street. Because there's somebody who is reading the Daily Beast who doesn't know what Haktua means. And they were like, what is Haktua? Is this like a Native American thing? Chief Haktua from the Cherokee Nation? Is that a thing? I don't know what we're looking at. I don't know what we're talking about. Somebody was confused about it. And then they have to describe it. Kamala Harris, she is the original Haktua girl. That's why she got where she is. And the party's going downhill if it's in her hands. Lace's comments were even too much for Fox Business host Dagan McDowell, who told him that was harsh. Rather than apologize for the comments, Lace then took to X, where he wrote, "Did I go too far on Fox News calling Kamala Harris the OG Haktua girl, or am I right over the target?" You can say that if you like. Less than a week into her candidacy, Harris is already the subject of right-wing attacks, with Tucker Carlson criticizing female leaders for being nasty, stupid, and bloodthirsty, and comparing Harris to Cambodia's genocidal dictator Pol Pot. Well, Tucker Carlson compares everybody on the left to Pol Pot. He'd compare me to Pol Pot. He would. My people have performed the sacred Haktua ceremony for many moons. It's true. So that's a thing that happened. That's why Mike Johnson had to have the meeting. That's why he had to bring everybody together and explain to everybody that they ought to be not crazy. Don't get into trouble. So what do we have here? We have Donald Trump saying something silly. What's he saying?
The concept, but she's totally against the Jewish people. And it amazes me how Jewish people will vote for the Democrats when they're being treated so disrespectfully and badly. It amazes me.
Donald Trump says that President Harris, she's totally against the Jewish people. This would be news to her Jewish husband and stepdaughters. Yeah, Donald Trump doesn't have to know what he's talking about. He just says things. It's real easy. Short, pithy, wrong. She's against the Jewish people. Short, pithy, wrong. Doesn't matter. How are you going to argue against it? You have to find out the facts. You have to go discover that she is actually married to a Jewish guy. You'd have to research that shit. And then explain it to people afterward. Short, pithy, wrong. It's the way to go. Okay. What else? Is there anything else to talk about tonight? I don't think so. The first gentleman will be a Jewish. Yes. Bopuck. I appreciate that, Zella. Thank you very much. I'm about to wrap it up myself. I think I did a good job tonight. We keeping it quick, keeping it light. go do Zayla things. Yeah. I'm about to call it off. I appreciate everybody who was here. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for keeping chat lively. I appreciate it. And feel free to go to the YouTube page and look at all the videos, because what I do is I turn these streams into smaller versions on the YouTube page. So if you miss something, or if you want to talk about or look at a specific situation, go there, watch it on the YouTube. Good night, Popog. Good night, everybody. I will be back on Saturday morning at 10 a.m. PST, West Coast, Best Coast. Maybe Thomas will be there. He flits in and out like the wind. He may or may not be there. And that's it for me tonight. Thanks for being here. I appreciate the Super Ponathan with 4 subscriptions. Like, he's way ahead of the game. Nobody else has subscribed nearly as much as Ponathan. That makes him better than you, possibly. I'm not saying that it does make him better than you, but if you feel like he's better than you because of that, I'm just saying, man, like that's a feeling that you can possibly do something about, or you're going to have to internalize and deal with yourself. That's all I'm saying. Everybody have a good night. I'm going to stop rambling. Good night.